G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. With that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie. Let's get right into the episode. Posted by user FlashyFly6519, titled, Am I the asshole for letting my son help me in the kitchen? In a general sense, I know that I'm not the asshole, but I want an unbiased opinion from people in here. I, 42 female, have 3 sons, Jamie, 16 male, Matt, 12 male, and Paul, 10 male, with my husband Charlie, 45 male. My middle son Matt is a little different from his brothers. His brothers like things that are typically meant for men like sports, gadgets, video games, and so on, but Matt is different. He's not a big sports fan. He likes reading and painting. He doesn't mind doing things that are typically not for boys. Another thing about him is that he is passionate about food. He has been like this since he was 6. He would often come to the kitchen and see me cook, and oftentimes offer to help. Well, I don't let him do heavy things like cutting or standing too close to the fire, but he would be a helping hand. I call him Ramsay Jr., after Gordon Ramsay. Honestly, I like this arrangement because while I'm doing all of the cooking, my other boys are in their room. My husband, on the other hand, is not impressed by Matt. He's a proud father of 3 sons and often likes to do stuff with them like teaching them how to play baseball, playing video games, wrestling, and watching sports. But Matt's not interested in any of those things. He has said over and over again that those typical things they do don't interest him. My husband would still force him to do it because he thinks it's more important for him to do things that are more masculine with his brothers because it creates a bond. I have tried several times to convince my husband that he has to let Matt go and let him do his thing. He eventually reached to a compromise that Matt will do sports and other stuff with them once a week so that he is in touch with his brothers, and the rest of the time he would do his own activities that he likes. My husband also doesn't like that Matt would rather stay in the kitchen with me being my helping hand, rather with him and my other boys. He sometimes tries to criticize him by saying he shouldn't be doing girly things, or he will not get any girls in the future, or he will be made fun of. The incident happened yesterday. I was in the kitchen preparing for lunch. My husband and sons were outside playing football. Paul and Jamie called Matt to come play with them, but Matt was not interested. I told him he should go play with his brothers now while I do the meal prep, and he can come back during the cooking process. Matt agreed, but he came to the kitchen after 10 minutes and started helping me. My husband was with the boys too. He called Matt several times, but Matt didn't budge. I can see that it irritated him. After the lunch, my husband was pissed and told me what I was doing to Matt is going to harm him in the future. I asked my husband, how is him forcing him to do things that he doesn't like going to help him? He wasn't listening and just kept saying things like he needs to be a man and stop doing girly things. And the way that I'm encouraging him to cook and bake things like grandma, he would get bullied in school, and he doesn't want a son who is a sissy. I was shocked. I told him that he needs to get his head out of his ass because cooking is gender neutral. There is nothing wrong with Matt wanting to cook. My husband got mad and told me that I am ruining my son's future. He doesn't want him to grow up weak and fragile, and making him do girly things will make it worse. He needs to learn how to be a man like his dad and learn how to provide, rather than take on feminine roles. And just because I couldn't get a daughter, I should stop turning my son into a girl. This turned into a huge fight between him and me, and now he is not talking to me. Matt is sad because he thinks that he is the reason why his dad and I fought. I had to reassure him that this is not his fault at all. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Or should I just have told Matt to play with his brother and not come into the kitchen until the lunch is served? Edit, I have read the comments. I just want to clear out any confusion. My other boys Jamie and Paul do have a good relationship with Matt. Yes, they are different and would rather stay in their rooms and do their own thing, but none of them have ever bullied Matt or made fun of him for liking things differently. Also, I am a homemaker for now, but my husband does help me with some chores, like getting kids ready for school, driving them to school, and other extracurriculars, like folding the laundry, taking care of the lawn. So it's not that I'm totally helpless. The kitchen duty is 100% mine because my husband doesn't know or like to cook. I'm just going to go straight off the bat with this one and say you're not the asshole for everything that's happened in this story. And it's good that you realize you're not the asshole from the start because this guy's just being a dick to you. I'm not suggesting that you should do anything malicious or take any action against your husband, besides just pulling him up on his actions here. Perhaps educating him and questioning where he's getting these weird ideas from and why he's being such a dick towards your son. Not the asshole, OP. In the comments, Francis says, OP, you are not the asshole, not at all. You are, however, married to a sexist misogynist. Who cares if your son doesn't like sports? What matters is that he is happy, healthy, loved, and supported. Please keep fighting for him. He needs to know that someone loves him and views him as more than a gender. Cooking professionally is a male-dominated job. Your husband needs professional help. Also, I'd love to see him call Gordon Ramsay weak and fragile to his face. Not the asshole. Your husband is a peanut brain. Learning cooking is not shameful and is a basic skill. In Japan, they learn cooking in primary or junior high school. Is Matt helping you because he enjoys cooking, or because he doesn't want to leave you in charge of cooking, and probably cleaning, alone? Cooking is a useful skill to become independent. All your kids and husband should learn the basics. Not everyone likes sports or driving cars or fishing. Are all famous cooks gay or sissy? Is Gordon Ramsay a sissy? Lamau? Your husband has some serious insecurity. Maybe he should go to therapy. Professional chefs and line cooks. I'm a woman in my 30s, and when I was a teenager working at a restaurant, I wanted to bus tables, do dishes, and train to be a line cook instead of hostessing and serving. I was told, no women in back of house. So when I'm getting paid to clear plates, wash dishes, and cook, it's a no-go, but doing it for free in a domestic setting is okay? Not the arsehole, OP. Although I do think you need to sit down with your husband and ask what is going on. Is he sexist or just upset that his youngest son prefers spending time with you rather than him? And now, onto the update. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say thank you for the comments. I know some of you called me a troll. I don't know why you think that. I just wanted some unbiased opinions. So anyways, I'm here to update on the situation. My husband Charlie was not letting it go. He insists Matt is wrong for wanting to cook with me. The argument between me and him never truly settled. So, a few days ago, he decided to call his dad. He thought since his dad was in the military, he would teach Matt some lessons. So, my father-in-law came to our house. We chatted and talked. Charlie brought up the issue with Matt. He just talked about everything, starting from his passion for cooking and not being interested in other masculine stuff. Father-in-law was quiet and thought about it. Matt looked scared because father-in-law looks like a scary guy. Father-in-law told the kids to go to their room because he wants to have a chat with hubby and I. After we were alone, I was expecting father-in-law to blame me, but instead, he blamed my husband. He said he is really embarrassed for my husband for having such backwards thinking. He knows that when father-in-law was in the military, he had to do all the chores and sometimes have to cook. He just unloaded on my husband that he is teaching the wrong lesson to Matt, that cooking is a good skill and it will help in real life. Watching sports and video games will not teach him anything valuable. There is more. I cannot write all of it, but my husband looked really defeated. He tried to argue that Matt needs to do tough things, but father-in-law shut that down by saying he has the nerve to say cooking is easy when he probably can't boil water. Honestly, it was funny to watch my husband being berated by his dad like a kid. Father-in-law then called the boys to the room and told us to give them privacy. We were outside. I was looking at my boys through the slit of the door. Matt looked relaxed, but the heads of Jamie and Paul went down. Long story short, father-in-law told my boys not to bother Matt anymore. He also instructed that my boys help me in the kitchen once a week to learn how to manage a home. He also told Matt not to be scared and to do whatever he likes. I'm glad that Charlie brought him to our house, even if his plans backfired. I thought that after father-in-law left, there would be peace. My husband would be normal and understand, but he was sulking and moping around. I asked him continuously what happened. He didn't answer at first, but then after a lot of pushing and pestering, he did. He said the reason why he didn't want Matt to do feminine things is because my husband was bullied for that when he was in school. I knew he had to deal with bullies, but he never told me why he was bullied. This is the first time hearing this story. He said when he was about Matt's age, he would also be in the kitchen with his mum because he liked watching her cook, and they lived in a joint family, so his uncles and aunts would also live in the house, like in Kanto. He would often get bullied by his cousins because he spent more time in the kitchen. He also admitted that he had an interest in knitting, but had to stop because he once heard his then crush say that it makes him gay. So he also got bullied for knitting. I was angry at him, but now I just pity him. I had to explain the situation to him that we do not live in the past, and a lot of things have changed, and that he shouldn't have to give up what he likes because people are stupid around him. There was a lot of conversation about past and present, and also about him being comfortable with this situation as a whole. He told me that he will not pressure Matt anymore. He realized that in order for his kid to not get bullied, he became his own kid's bully. Things are fine now. Today, all of the boys, including my husband, helped me in the kitchen. For the first time, I felt a little relieved by it. Also, to those people who told me to leave my husband, why? He's a good guy. I know he holds some backwards views, but he is nice and caring. I understand he has insecurities, but they are not worth having a divorce. Things are fine now, and if it goes bad, I know what to do. In the comments, Electronic Way 2199 says, I am so happy it turned out well. Your husband calling his father was the best thing to happen. Matt gets to do what he likes. Your husband opened up about his feelings and realized his mistake. Maybe your other kids also liked cooking and were scared to express that. Also, your husband liked knitting when he was younger. Maybe doing that together or gifting him some needles and wool might be nice. I don't know, it was just a thought. And OP replies, I don't know if he likes knitting now or not, but I will ask him. He is still in peak masculine phase. Baby steps with this one. Macavicious says, I saw something on Reddit recently, and I'll paraphrase because I don't remember it exactly. You can't raise your kids like your parents raised you because that world doesn't exist anymore. Well, the funny thing is, it looked like his parents actually raised him to be open with cooking, knitting and such. It was more his peers and his cousins who made him think otherwise. I thought the other two boys weren't bullying Matt for liking to cook or for not participating in the activities that they do, and in the second post they're now getting scolded to leave him be? Or maybe either OP assumed they didn't bully him, or father-in-law assumed they did bully him, but I don't know. I figured that OP didn't realize, whether because she didn't realize the standard brotherly rivalry was more serious than she thought, or because the kids, plus her husband, were trying to hide it from her. I really think the leave him be was probably because they helped their father pester the child to do manly things, not necessarily bullying him for what he wants to do. I can say with absolute confidence that a man with cooking skills is way more attractive than one without them. Whatever sexual orientation Matt is, he'll be seducing everyone with his skills in the future. That was my immediate thought when I read about the father thinking that a boy with cooking skills will never get a girl. Hell, I've heard from multiple women that they find their boyfriends and husbands the most sexy when they're doing the dishes. My ex needed help with cooking frozen pierogies that he had to boil. I lost so much respect in him that he couldn't even be bothered to Google it. My now husband worked in multiple kitchens, and we both cook every dinner together unless I'm sick, then he cooks, or vice versa. I love that I don't need to hold his hand for doing tasks like cooking. Our next post is by user DiligentNeeds8843, titled, Am I the asshole for how I responded to a friend at my friend's birthday dinner? Hello, I am a part of a friend group of 5 girls, all 20 to 22 years old. We live in Europe and this post is translated to English. My friend A had her birthday dinner with the group yesterday. A's friend B is 22 and is a stay-at-home mother. I'm a university student. Yesterday, when B arrived late, she looked at me and said, "You look like shit." Not very nice, but true, so fair enough because I really looked like shit. Why? I have a lot of courses that I have to attend, and I cannot delay them. The exams are coming. I am studying for more than 90 hours per week without counting lectures. I'm also working, although only 3 hours a week with preparing at home for at least 2 more hours. I am stressed, and I fear that I cannot pass these exams. I kind of developed insomnia due to the stress, so I've not slept for the last 3 to 4 days, and you can see it in my face. I'm starting to think that if I die right now, at least I don't have to do the exams. But I think I'll feel better again after the exams. I did not ever want to go to dinner because I just have so much to do, but I care about A, so I went. I said, yeah, I'm very tired from studying. She laughed and said her usual mantra, "You don't know what tired is. I have 3 kids. Talk again about it when you also have 3 kids. You could have at least put on some makeup." Now, I don't really know what happened to me because we're all used to these kind of comments from her, but I just snapped. I told her exactly how tired I am. I told her that she isn't the only one tired, and that her gatekeeping being tired is annoying and also shows what a selfish person she is, and that being empathetic for one time would not kill her. I followed, saying that I'm without doubt more tired than her since all of her kids are out of the house for more than 10 hours a day. Good daycare since her husband has a good job, and all she has to do is clean and not even cook because her husband does this. Moreover, she has her mother-in-law taking care of night duties because she and hubby are too tired. She told us all of this herself, while I have to clean and cook and do all of these things by myself. I think at the end I was kind of screaming because when I looked around, people were staring at us. She asked A if she had anything to say, and after A didn't say anything, she told me I was a childish B and to go to hell. Then she left. I think A was just too shocked to react. After that, I started crying, and I immediately apologized to A for ruining her birthday dinner. A was kind and told me not to worry about it and that she would have a chat with B later. The other girls messaged me after we left, saying that I had to apologize to B, that I was insensitive to her struggles, and that it was not okay to bring her home situation to the discussion. I wrote this during another sleepless night, and I am only posting this now because I still don't know if I was in the right for responding like that. I mean, I still ruined A's birthday dinner, and I could have just ignored her comment. Honestly, I'm gonna say not the asshole for this one. I think she absolutely deserved everything you gave to her. Yes, raising 3 children is hard, but she is young, she has so much help, the kids are out of the house 10 hours a day, her mum does half the work, and she doesn't even have to cook. What is she doing that's so hard when she doesn't have the kids for that long and has so much help around her? I feel your pain, resentment, and anger, OP. She can take her snide comments and shove them up her ass for all I care, not the asshole. In the comments, JacksonLove3 says, not the asshole. B can dish it out but can't take it back. Had she kept her rude comments to herself like she should have, she wouldn't have been embarrassed like she was. I would not apologize to her at all. I would offer another genuine apology to A for this taking place on her birthday though. Was it the best way to handle it? No, but B deserved what she got. Sounds like you hit a nerve, not the asshole. Stay-at-home mum with kids in daycare and mother-in-law doing the night shift? Wow. She sounds like an entitled, nasty person. Not the asshole, don't apologize. You told her the truth and gave her a reality check. I am so sick of parents pulling the poor me card. Other people have stressful lives too. They chose to have kids. Yeehot22 says, everyone sucks here. High key, screw B. She didn't have to have 3 kids if they make her so tired. But she did, and she's not raising them. Her daycare and her mother-in-law is. You made highly accurate points. She's angry because you called her out on every piece of bullshit, and she had 0 excuses to use. Throwing a tantrum on your friend's birthday was out of line. I can sympathize that B triggered you when you were exhausted and stressed, but you should have put her in her place quietly and privately. Please take A for an expensive lunch or dinner somewhere, or have a spa day for the 2 of you as an apology. Regarding university stress and time management, power through. School is exhausting. I have found using a giant desk-sized old school pen and paper calendar to write out my deadlines gave me time to coordinate my life and sleep schedule better. It might help to go to some university counseling services a few times to cry and vent out some stress so you don't have to take it out on other people. Edit, additionally, reconsider that friend group. Why did no one have your back when B said you look like shit, but then expect you to apologize after she instigated the fight by insulting you publicly? It seems less of a tantrum and more of an I'm overwhelmed thing to me. And now, on to the update. I know some time has passed since I wrote my post, and not many people were interested in my conflict, but I still want to update for the few people that cared enough to comment. I was judged not the asshole, and some comments really helped me. A special thanks to user No I Won't Install the App. Regarding my friend A, I called her and apologized again for yelling and ruining her dinner party. She said that I did not ruin anything and that she should have put a stop to B's actions long ago. She also told me that I was paranoid as always, and that I did not yell but just raised my voice a bit, and that it was normal that the table next to us seemed invested in our discussion. I insisted on taking her out to dinner, just the two of us, after my exams, and we went, and we had a great time. We were both in no contact with B and low contact with the other girls. Regarding my university problems, I contacted my teacher. He was as useful as always and told me that I should continue to do my work, meaning all the work, and that he would ask his superior for help. I did not hear back from him before my presentations. At that point, I was angry and bitter of all the work that I had to do, so I said screw them and signed everything with my name only and presented alone with my colleague standing next to me completely silent. I repeated several times that I did everything alone and told my teacher that I sent him an email with proof of this, email, screenshots, etc. He said he had not seen the email yet. He asked the others if this was true that I did everything alone, and 3 of them actually tried to lie after I told the teacher that I had proof, but the last one, I will call him Boy, said the truth and apologized to both the teacher and me. Boy took me out to lunch after the presentation, apologized again, and explained that he was stuck in a mental coma after a traumatic event that occurred to him, and that I snapped him right out of it when I told the teacher about all the work that I had to do alone. His words. He told me that he was thinking about quitting his studies because he was so far behind, but I managed to dissuade him, and we now regularly meet up to study together. We have become good friends, and he will be back on path with his studies in about a year, hopefully. I passed all of my exams, but the colleagues failed all of them. The 3 other colleagues are currently facing some troubles with the university for fraud/cheating, since they continue to claim that they worked on the exams and will not back down with these statements. My teacher is confident that they will be expelled over their stubbornness. Boy is okay, as he admitted everything and just failed the exams. I can sleep again, and I am happy. This is all. Thank you again. In the comments, Now Kiss Please says, "This is a great update, and I'm really proud of you for standing up for yourself at school and for learning the value of prioritizing friends who reciprocate care. You handled all of this really well, and I really hope that your workload becomes more reasonable as you continue to push back on those who may try to shirk their responsibilities. In your OP, you mentioned that you didn't know what happened, but you felt like you just snapped. When you're sleep deprived, your ability to regulate your emotions plummets. While I think your response to B was warranted, if you have any lingering regret, I think you should give yourself a little more compassion and understand that your actions were very human." Oh, 100% on the sleep deprivation and emotional regulation bit. I have fibromyalgia, and even though I take meds to help regulate pain and help me sleep, if I get overtired, I can have a big meltdown, and it sucks to have happen. B was choosing to be snide and belittle UOP. Add in the overtired/exhaustion, and you got the perfect mix of having a bad moment. I'm delighted that A was both understanding and realizing just how toxic B was being. Cutting out the negative people will do you the best thing that you can do. And full-on cheering here, for you standing up for yourself, and also for helping Boy with studying and staying in school. You've done both of you so much good. Keep doing great, and don't forget to take time for you to relax/unwind. Studies can be overwhelming at times, and just taking even a few hours away from them can do so much more good for you. 3 kids at 22, god damn. That's how you end up with parenthood being your whole personality. Parents can be the most entitled, selfish people you'll ever meet. As the previous full-time working single parent of 3 kids, youngest is 18, with very little support, my mum would help with work-related babysitting once every few weeks or so, for which I am very grateful. Let me say that I find it incredibly annoying how much some parents whine about the situation they participated in making. Yes, parenting is tough, but so are other jobs, and while one's own little people are the priority to oneself, they are not special or particularly wonderful in the greater scheme of things, and parents need to remember that. Other people have the right to be tired and the right to find your kids annoying. They are not gods and should not be worshipped, and the second best way to damage those kids is to spoil them rotten. The way to cause the most damage is to not love them, which is far worse. Many of the brats grow into nice people after tormenting their parents for years, kind of deservingly. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.